Hello, my name is Salma and welcome to my channel. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can contact me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or you can look up my personal website, which is tattoosandtarot.com, and you can see what other services I have to offer with regard to readings. In any case, I hope you enjoy your monthly Taroscope reading, and any questions that you have, feel free to message me. All right, have a good one. Bye. Hello, Cancer. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Cancer. You guys are awesome. I'm a Cancer moon, so I tend to feel very much a lot more connected to Cancer readings and what's going on in the Cancer sky versus the Aquarius or the Sagittarius sky. And so what's going on for Cancer for the month of July 2017? Before I started the video, I just kind of sat and was like thinking, or not thinking, but just feeling, and Cancer, July 2017, like what's coming up. And I just kind of got this like smug, this smug feeling where I just kind of like sat back in my chair and kind of watched, the world go by in front of me. Kind of watched the world go by in front of me, and it was just a sense of being tired, this sense of feeling like, yeah, you know what, I've tried, it's my birthday month, I'm chilling this month, I'm not doing too much. Oh, let's see what, new opportunities, new offers, new tangible things being offered, new pathways to take. So, what else is going on with Cancer? I've been working, sorry, the cards dropped and then I have to get up out of my chair. By the way, I don't read reversals. I don't read cards in reverse. We got the eight of cups. Moving on to greener pastures. Like all the cups, right? All these 8 cups. None of them are spilt over. Nothing's really wrong with them. It's just like, sometimes we recognize that what we have in front of us, whether it's good or not good or whatever it is, sometimes we just need to walk away from it, right? Like, and maybe there's a pattern of, maybe something is offered. Sorry, I think the cards are going to be backwards in the video, right? But Ace of Pentacles first, right? And then 8 of Cups. And I'm feeling like this inclination to kind of walk away from what's being given. Because you just know. And I get it. Sorry, I'm readjusting this. I get it. As I said before, my moon is in Cancer. And the moon, I mean, I would even suggest if your moon is in Cancer and you're watching this and your sun may not be in Cancer, but your moon's in, I would suggest even, checking out some Cancer videos, because the moon is the moon is so comfortable in Cancer. I mean, that's its ruling body, right? But for me, kind of at this job, and I don't, it's like, I don't know, like, do I want to, so that's just kind of, been what's coming up for me. I haven't looked over the astrological, like what's happening in the Cancer sky. Okay. I'll take that. Yeah. A desire to create something that is of your own. A desire to, yeah. All right, let's go a couple more. Y'all are my first reading ever on YouTube. Not my first reading ever, but my first reading on YouTube. A lot of the Cancers, the Cancers that I know who are Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, a lot of them are very mysterious, Very mysterious. There's this kind of rough exterior. but it's not, you know, and it goes along with the crab archetype, right? It's not to say if something didn't pop soon, I was going to start pulling. Yeah. All right. Let's pull. Well, that's. Let's see what else we have here that fell on the floor. Sorry. Excuse me. Man, this don't really say much. This says something, and it landed on top of. So I had the Seven of Pentacles, and then it's like the Four of Pentacles landed perfectly on top, crossing it, right? So it's Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles is the harvest card, right? It's the card of planting seeds and taking stock and even thinking like, is this idea a good idea? Is this idea, is what I've planted worth it? Is it, you know, does it make sense? Will it be prosperous? Will it be what I hope it to be? And what I'm feeling with this, you know, the Four of Pentacles is a lot of, you know, something is not as being held on to, right? Like there's this tendency to not want to let something go, and it's usually, for me at least, it's an expectation of what I want to see manifesting in reality, like in the physical realm. It's an idea that I have in my head of what I need to tangibly see happen, and I'm unwilling to let it go until it actually happens. And most of the time it doesn't happen that way. And so, you know, there could be a plan, there could be a project, there could be something that's, you know, that wants to come to fruition, that you want to come to fruition. But it's like you're going to have to let go of the expectation of how it's going to show up. You're going to have to let go of how you think it's going to turn out. You're going to have to let that go, because if you can't let that go, it's not going to flow in. It's not going to come in. And I'm really getting a lot that this has to do with finances. It has to do with money. It has to do, I mean, it's the Pentacles, right? So it has to do with things that we can tangibly hold. It can also represent the tangible aspects of relationships, right? Like the physical aspects of a relationship. How I get to touch and feel my partner. It represents for me the actual, cups are, the emotional side of things, right? Whereas pentacles can represent the actual staying power of a relationship or of a bond, right? And not just romantic relationships, but familial, friendships, business, but yeah, definitely getting the vibe that, there is an offer on the table, right? Like there's something that's being offered to you, and it's like, it looks good, right? Like all the cups are standing up, like I said before, but it's not the most, it won't fulfill you emotionally. This person's walking away because it's like, I have these 8 cups here, but there's something better for me out there, right? Like there's something, that Sagittarian desire for expansion and growth and like, continuing to broaden, right? Like broaden the horizons. Like what else is out there for me? This is great, but like I want to continue to expand and grow. And so, there's something offered, but there's something else that you're thinking of wanting to plant. There's a business idea. There is some kind of, tangible idea that you have that you want to plant, but you also have to maybe let go of how you think it needs to turn out physically, that it's and with all things, usually, we're very much surprised how things end up turning out, and looking for us. You also have, the Empress that showed up as well, right? And the Empress, right? Like she's incredibly, in my opinion, right? Like this is a card of a woman, right? It could represent a woman who has it together, who is, you know, who she's prosperous. She's just sitting there chilling. Like she's, you know, she's got everything at her feet, literally, you know, and she's got this beautiful feminine energy, and she's like the creator. Anything that she wants, she can create. And she creates it not through force and not through power of, you know, like, you know, a lot of the times we think that we have to create by forcing things. And, you know, if you have at all studied manifestation practices or laws of attraction, that it's like, you know, it's the law of attraction, not the law of like forcing your will onto the universe and what you think needs to happen. So it's like you also have the Emperor here, right? And the Emperor, you know, the Emperor is like the king of all kings. And when I think of the Emperor, I think of sorry, I should probably like be in that. I think of someone, a male figure, an incredibly masculine energy that asserts itself. And so these both have the ability to manifest, right? But one does it in a very kind of nurturing way. And another might assert their will a little bit more. Sorry, I don't know if you can see. And so I guess the question is, which do you want to, which route do you want to take to getting right to where it is that you want to be at? Like, what route do you want to take? You know, let me pull a couple. Yeah. What route does Cancer want to take? It's up to you, you know? It's like this person's heading off on a journey. It's like, what route do you want to take as you go on this journey? You know, both the Empress and the Emperor are very much in control of their environments. And on the bottom, we have the Queen of Swords. Air signs. Queen of Swords on the bottom. How are you utilizing your mind? How are you wielding your sword, right? And the sword being representative of communication. How are you communicating? How are you communicating what it is that you want to other people, to spirit, to God in prayer? Like, how are you communicating what it is that you're trying to create? Sorry. We have the 10 of Wands here. Yeah. We have the 10 of Wands. Walking away from needing to walk away from burdens, from feeling overwhelmed. Oh yeah. So remember when I was talking about the relationship between, you know, it's like both of these archetypes, both of these people, these rulers, they're manifestors, right? They're creators. They birth things. They create. They whatever they want to see in their universe. It happens. But they both go about it in very different ways, right? And it's kind of like masculine, feminine energy, like how, like, you know, the different ways in which masculine energy navigates power, and how feminine energy may navigate power can be seen in two different ways, right? Whereas like the Empress, like I said, things come to her. She allows abundance. She allows abundance to flow to her because in essence she recognizes that she is abundance, right? And the Emperor, so like the Empress is very much, I don't want to say passive, but a very much more of a faith-based or a knowing that it'll come to me, it'll happen. Whereas a masculine energy is a little bit more proactive in getting and maintaining the things, right, that we want. And so the Emperor, who's the king of all kings, goes out and gets what he wants and takes what he wants. And you know, can be forceful, and can be a force to be reckoned with, and takes charge in creating the things that they want. And you know, with the Empress, you also had, next to the Empress, you had the Sun, right? And you know, the Sun is this energy of like freedom and liberation and just childhood, right? It's like fifth house energy of, you know, got this child here, fifth house energy, celebration, romance, playfulness. And so in kind of going like the route of the Empress kind of leads to like the route of allowing things to just kind of happen, right? The route of kind of letting this energy kind of dissipate or go, or at least maybe turn upside down, right? Like has the potential to lead to, you know, the ability, like leads to the happiness of this child, right? And so, you know, if there's this question of like, do I take action? And sometimes we need to take action, and sometimes action is a necessary part of getting what it is that we want or what it is that we need. Taking action, but do you want to be forceful? Like, what's the kind of action? Like, what do you want to tire yourself out, right? And, you know, it's like the Emperor, like, if you don't, like, this Emperor has a lot of staying power, and if you don't have the same staying power as this Emperor, like, you're going to overrun yourself and you're going to become incredibly burdened. So, you know, it's like, do you have like, and this Emperor is also incredibly organized and is incredibly, he's organized and he knows exactly what he wants and he knows exactly what he's doing. He has a plan. And he is a very loud and robust leader. And if we're not ready to take on the responsibilities of being in such a position where we have such huge responsibility, right? Like, if we're not ready for that, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like we've taken on too much. It can feel like, you know, I really want it. I want this to happen so badly. I want it to happen, and I want it to happen in this very specific way. But if we're not ready for that, if we're not ready for this, right? Like, if we're not ready for this to become this, right? For you to be sitting up here on the Emperor's throne, it's not, you know, it's not very comfortable. And you begin to question, why did I do this? You begin to question, like, you know, who am I proving? Like, what am I proving? Who am I trying to, what am I trying to prove? And who am I trying to prove this to? Like, who are you trying to impress? Like, who are you trying to, you know, like, you're trying to act, you don't act like this when you really want this, right? To be chilling, and you want to kind of be free and naked like this little child. Sorry, there was a fly. So I don't, you know, like, who are you trying to impress, essentially? And then you have the World card here, which the World card for me, in its basic meaning, is the completion of cycles. It's the recognition that, for me at least, it's the recognition that, you know, I am not a separate entity. Like, I am part of, I am but like a small, you know, droplet in the divine, you know, river, whatever you want to call it. That was a terrible analogy, but you get the point. But I'm going to get some clarification on the world and what it means. So can I have clarification on the world? There's a kid that lives in my house, if you can hear him, right? He's just like this all the time. Yeah. Can you tell me what the world means? Can you tell me what the world means? Okay. One more. Let's do one more card for the world. Sorry, that was loud. Here we go again. I'm gonna get off my chair and get the card so I don't know then. Okay. Okay. So the two cards that came out to kind of clarify the world was the Knight of Wands, the Manifester, right? And the Three of Cups, coming together, friendship. Let me. So the world is a completion, right? So the world is, okay, all right, I see. So this guy's, the wands represent spirit and energy and, it could also represent, our creative power, and I feel like, okay, let me see if I can lower this for you to see. So I feel like there's some relationship, right? I mean, all the cards that I've pulled, right, are in relationship with one another. But it's like you have this Ten of Wands, right? And it's like, would you rather, and in the Ten of Wands, it's someone who's obviously overburdened, who feels as though they've taken on too much and they can't see what's in front of them. They can't see the road ahead because they've taken on way too much, right? And then here in the Knight of Wands, you have the Knight, right? And the Knight of Wands can also represent a fire sign, right? A Leo, Sag, or an Aries. We are definitely going to be, we're in Cancer right now, but we're going to be heading into that Leo season, pretty soon. And sometimes the Knight of Wands can be a bit flighty, can come and go, can kind of the Knight of Wands can come and go as he pleases, right? But he can come and go and leave as he pleases because he carries one wand, right? Like this person has one wand as opposed to 10 and is able to, right? It's like there's all these ideas, there's all of these different things that, right? And they all have these little trees growing on them, these plants growing on them, right? So they're fruitful ideas, right? It's fruitful creativity, but sometimes you just got to carry one idea and run with it. You just got to take one wand with you for now, and just stick with that idea, and allow that idea to come to completion, right? There could be, Cancers, y'all are very creative. A lot of musicians that I know, a lot of creative writers that I know, a lot of just really creative people I know who are living life a little bit differently, Cancers, right? And so there's a lot of ideas, there's all of this work that needs to be done, and it's like, man, I have all this work that needs to fucking get done. Take one thing and run with it. Take one thing, take one idea, and you're going to have to let go of even how the manifestation of how that idea is going to come out to play, right? And in taking one idea, in taking one idea, the emotional fulfillment, it comes together, right? And this could even be, this idea could involve working with friends. This idea, this creative energy, right, could involve bringing friends together. It could involve actually maybe getting out of your crab shell for a little bit. I know me being a Cancer moon, I have a strong tendency to want to withdraw, and I have a strong tendency to just want to like exist in my safe zone. And sometimes but I have a lot of ideas and I have a lot of things that I want to do, and some of those ideas are going to require that I go out and I leave my house and I go out and I do something, and that involves other people. And 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, when I, step outside of my comfort zone and I come together with others, I'm happy. I feel happiness. I don't feel this sense of being burdened and overwhelmed. So yeah, just, if you're going to walk away from an offer, a business offer or a job, or, if you're going to walk away from something, because you realize that, like for me, it's like the question of like, am I doing work that serves my passion, right? Or am I just doing work to serve responsibility? And both are very important, right? Like we need to do work that serves our passion, and we also need to do work that serves responsibility, right? Like 10th house versus 6th house, right? Like 10th house is, there's work that I want to do that's attached to my identity and my status and, the position that I want to, have in this lifetime. And then there's work that we do in the 6th house, right? Like, because we are responsible. It's self-sacrifice. It's work that has to get done to pay the bills, to take care of ourselves. It's our routine. And so if you're kind of in a balance of like, where do I go with that work? Just make sure that, if you're gonna walk away, and if you're gonna say, you know what, there might be greener pastures elsewhere, make sure that you're ready and willing to handle, right? Like, can you handle the responsibilities that, like, this emperor doesn't just deal with, victory and being the guy that sits on the throne. He also has to deal with conflict, and he has to deal with things not going right in his empire, and he has to deal with other kingdoms, like there's a lot that this person has to deal with, right? Are you ready for that? And you'll know if you are, you'll know if the strength, if the strength is there. Yeah, and let's do an outcome for Cancer for July 2017. Can I get an outcome card, please? And thank you. Outcome. That's too many. I don't want a story. I just want to. Can I get an outcome card for Cancer, July 2017? Alright, I'm gonna shuffle it. Alright, there we go. I knew it! I knew it. I knew it when the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Yeah, King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, this could represent, I'm trying to like figure out the glare on the cards. Okay. So the King of Pentacles could represent an earth sign, an older earth sign male, or an older earth sign that has a lot of masculine energy, right? Like it doesn't have to just be a male. It could be somebody that exhibits a lot of masculine energy or is in position of power, or, like this King of Pentacles, he is the king of the suit of pentacles, right? The suit of things tangible, the suit of the physical realm, the suit of the thing like money and things that we can actually handle in this physical world. The King of Pentacles is, incredibly slow moving, and very methodical, right? I think of Taurus when I think of the King of Pentacles. So, King of Pentacles could be Taurus, it could be Capricorn, it could be Virgo, but I usually tend to think of Taurus, because Taurus is a very stubborn sign, and when I say stubborn, I don't just mean stubborn in the conventional sense of like someone who's stuck in an opinion, but someone who also stands their ground, and someone who acknowledges and recognizes their value, right? Like Taurus is ruled by the second house, right? Like values and possessing the self, right? Like once we can possess the self, we stop needing to possess all of these other things, and we stop needing to possess people and relationships and money. Like once we are able to kind of possess her, once we're able to fully own and possess and value ourselves, right? And that's what this king does. I don't know if you can see, but he has grapes kind of growing off of him, right? And it took a while for those grapes to grow off of him. And there's lush green around him. Like, plants and flowers and trees grapes and fruit, produce, it doesn't grow overnight. It takes time. And so this king, he knows, he takes his time. He knows his value, right? Like he sees his value, and he recognizes the need for patience, and he recognizes the need for discernment in decisions, and discernment, especially when it comes to business and money, and when it comes to things tangible, and when it comes to things that have to do with our value, and when it comes to, it's like, this emperor's represents Aries, right? Aries is very fast moving. And Aries can sometimes being the first zodiac sign and being ruled by the first house can sometimes do things out of ego. Sorry. It's true. Like, as all signs do, right? But especially with Aries, there is this ego-driven kind of need for action, right? Whereas this King of Pentacles is a little bit more practical, and is able to kind of remove the ego from time to time in decisions, right? Still, very much attached to what's happening in the physical realm, but sometimes attachment can be a good thing. Sometimes we need to feel that level of connection. But yeah, I think things are going to turn out well for you. Just have patience, have some discernment, and allow things to kind of flow, right? Like same thing with the Empress. And yeah. All right. Have a good month, Cancer. And I forgot to say once again, if you want to book a personal reading, you can contact me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or you can go to tattoosandtarot.com and check out my other services. All right. Bye, Cancer.